Welcome, boys and girls. It's the 29th of June. God, summer's almost a third up. I wanted a lot longer. Pardon. So, I also want my 2 hours of life back. I watched the debate. I do a lot of military political shows in Russia on different channels. So, as an Americanist, I kind of have to watch things like that. Crap show called the debates. They weren't a debates. They were a she said, he said argument between Trump, who's at least coherent. I'll give him that much. Though his facts are like 30-40% BS and embellishment. And Biden, and Biden. There's not much you can say for Biden. I mean, it's Biden. If anything, is elder abuse at this point. I mean, my God. There's not much more to say. It's incredible to watch the people they put up. So, anyways, yeah. I mean, if this is so basically what you get is there is no plan for America. So America's going to keep going down the toilet like it's been going down for quite a long time. I mean, Trump's got plans. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to do that. I have no idea how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to tell them that, if his plan for Russia. Well, if Zelensky doesn't come to the negotiation table, I'll cut off his weapons. Okay, that's actually something you can do. Or if Putin doesn't come to the negotiation, the American negotiation, what America wants, then I'll just send all the so many weapons. I'll bury Ukrainian weapons. What weapons? Dear fellow, what weapons? You're almost out. Cupboard's bare. And the big wars that your kind is pushing, yeah, you're going to have fun. Real fun. So anyways, the U.S. ambassador got called in, got chewed out. And all of a sudden, and got a notice that Russia will retaliate. I don't know where we'll retaliate. We'll live and see. Honestly, 800 American bases or 800 big targets for retaliation, amongst other things. Yeah, I guess that was enough of a warning to get Lloyd Austin suddenly calling Belousov. First time in over a year that the Minister of Defense of the two countries have spoken. Really, there's almost no communication between Russia and the U.S. The vast majority of communication is done in the media by statements. So that's how it is. So even if there's any kind of communication with Trump, that's already an improvement to what it is right now. I mean, that's where we're at right now. This is the state of affairs. There needs to be retaliation. Because retaliation is the only form of language that the West understands. Oh, or get on your knees and give them everything they want and let them rape you. So it has to be retaliation because that's the only language they understand. The more painful, the more understanding they become. That's just how it is. You can scream all you want about it or say, it's not us, it's the government. Well, the people don't do anything by the government. If they don't do anything to the government, they're just as guilty as the government. That's how it runs. So yeah, and the government brings down the wrath of God or the wrath of your neighbors on you. Well, you should have done something about it. But most people don't do it, and they won't do it because it takes effort. And effort's not something most people want to expand. So that's that. I heard about there's going to be some massive reductions in the numbers that were given out over the last 3 quarters. That may show the U.S. in a recession since last October, 2023, I'm sorry. That would mean the U.S. has been in a recession for almost a year. And the various signs seem to point to that, correlation anyways. So we'll live and see. That'll be interesting to note. BRICS is growing. There are new procedures for the BRIC countries joining. So it's not going to be, hey, can I come into your house and sit at your table and have a beer with you? It's going to be actual, different minimal standards that they have to meet. Those are still being worked out. So is the currency and the SWIFT alternative that are being implemented. They will be implemented. There's nothing particularly There's nothing particularly special about Swift. And blockchain technology really puts a lot of what Swift does into the same realm as Americans writing paper checks, into an antique realm. And yes, Americans writing paper checks is like 60, 70-year-old technology that's gone away in almost every part of the world. It's an anachronism. Well, when you see somebody pulling out a checkbook, like, geez, really? I mean, in Russia, if I transfer money, my phone will tell me the transfer is done before the ATM is done. Okay? And that's the speed of transfer. If I transfer by phone between banking accounts, it's seconds. Rarely 2 minutes. It's seconds. I had a payment coming due. And it was coming due on an American account for a project I was working on. And it took 3 days for the payment to clear. I mean, that's just unheard of. That's primitive. That's incredibly primitive. That's beyond primitive. I mean, I could send money overseas outside of the U.S. and it would get there a hell of a lot faster than that. And this was between 2 American bank accounts. 3 days for clearance. And this isn't a paper check. This is electronic. In Russia, it's instant. I mean, literally instant. Seconds or milliseconds between hitting push and the person getting that money. So, incredible. Just incredible, the level of lack of infrastructure. In fact, for Exit World Strategy, for their blog, I'm writing an article. It's one of 4 piece articles on the American catastrophe. And part 1 is sovereign debt crisis. Part 2 is going to be infrastructural collapse. Then part 3, inflation. And part 4, good Lord, what am I going to do for part 4? Inflation, infrastructure collapse. Well, that's the first part of 3. We will come up with part 4. I've got it, but for whatever reason, I can't remember what part 4 was. So pardon me. But those articles will be out. So if anything, I'll link out. I'll link this out or check out Exit Strategy World on Telegram. So they have a site there too, and there'll be links there. Clown World. Well, one big clown world. Well, the whole debate was a clown world. It was a monumental clown world. Monumental failure. Biden will keep on trudging forward at whatever speed his mind can muster, which isn't much. It's hard to get him in the first gear. And you're lucky if the first gear doesn't turn out to be reverse. Clown World, the 15th package of sanctions is being now worked on by the EU. I mean, these people put the S in stupid. I mean, the previous 14 didn't work, so let's do a 15th and then a 16th. What are you going to do ban next? You're going to ban oxygen from Russia? Oxygen can no longer cross the Russian border. No. We will sanction oxygen. The rivers shall not flow toward Russia, and the ocean shall not lap on the Russian coast, because we will ban, because we are the gods of the European peasants. We will tell the European peasant where to shite and where to stick his head up with orifice. I mean, Europeans, you've got to be the most pathetic human beings to have these pathetic human beings to be your owners. I mean, and they are your owners. I mean, for God's sakes, it's not a matter of let's vote conservative or Eurosceptic, which, by the way, the big Eurosceptic revolution of this last vote, it moved the globalist elites from 67% or 68% of the vote to 61% of the vote. You have 3-4 of those, and maybe you'll get into parity with them. And consider at least a few of those people, if not a lot more, are going to get bribed and going to switch sides, become globalists very, very quickly. Keep up these revolutions. You'll die of old age still hoping for that voter revolution to get rid of your owners. And by the time you get rid of your owners, the new guys are becoming your owners because they've been corrupted. I mean, seriously. The only way you get rid of these guys is by getting rid of these guys. But okay, keep believing. It's like Americans who are constantly being told this BS crap. Well, the next election will show. Or vote for the lesser of two evils, and the next election will show. It never happens. Never happens. And it won't happen for your kiddies, and your grandkiddies, and your great-grandkiddies, and probably there won't be even an election this year around. So we'll see. This is happy times. Vucic, interesting enough, if you listen to him, he's predicted that there's going to be a big European war within the next 50 or so days. 50, 60 days. And Serbia is now stockpiling, reviewing and stockpiling its supplies, grain supplies and so on. So if that's true, I guess Europe is going to get rid of a lot of its problems by just having them get killed off. That is, you people who don't want to be under the governments of them. We'll live and see. So we'll live and see. Well, I guess I'll get my vacation in before the big fight starts. I'll enjoy it. Okay, have fun. Cheers. God bless.